Stick around downtown, why some public servants are calling the city's new ad campaign propaganda, saying it's not their responsibility to boost the downtown economy or ease the pressures on public transit. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. We begin with a new wave of backlash hitting City Hall. With the return to office well underway, there's a new campaign to keep federal employees downtown when the workday is done. We're told the goal is to ease traffic congestion in the roads and prevent OC Transpo from crumbling under pressure. CTV's Leah LaRocque is here with the latest. Leah.
Well, Stefan, the city has a $29 million plan to address a surge of public servants returning to the office in the fall. Part of it is a $50,000 ad campaign, but union leaders and transit users are calling it tone deaf. A city report says the objective of the campaign is to encourage workers and visitors to extend their time in the area in order to spread the egress from downtown over a longer period. But there is concern from councillors that this campaign targets the wrong messaging and may not resonate with OC Transpo riders. The Public Service Alliance of Canada calls the campaign out of touch.
There's no amount of money that you can invest in an ad campaign to try and push people to stay longer to compensate for a lack of planning. Somehow asking people to stay and spend money they don't have and to spend time that they no longer have because they have to come in to the downtown core 4 days a week is absurd.
The city says they will work with business improvement areas and other partners to amplify that campaign. The city is expecting an additional 65,000 trips a week into the downtown area more this fall. We asked the city for more details and examples of this campaign, but we have not heard back before we came to air. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Leah LaRocque reporting live for us. Thank you for that update. And the federal government is looking for office space in the Ottawa and Gatineau areas to accommodate all the public service workers now spending more time in the office. As part of the government's return to office mandate, all federal public servants now have to spend at least 4 days a week in the office. That came into effect July 6th. But several departments are delaying the mandate due to a lack of office space. The government is looking for additional space to lease or buy to make sure there's enough space for everyone working in the office. Today marks the start of National Drowning Prevention Week here in Canada, and it comes following a weekend with 2 water-related incidents in Ottawa. First responders say it could have turned tragic. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us with more. Dylan.
Stefan, every year drownings in our city pick up around May when the weather begins to warm, with 2/3 of those incidents happening in lakes, ponds, or rivers. And the 2 biggest factors involved when these incidents turn tragic is a lack of supervision and life jackets. Last Friday, there was a near drowning incident where a young girl was found face down at a pool at Sylvia Holden Park. City officials say a lifeguard was on duty, but the girl was still taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. And Saturday in Cumberland, Ottawa fire crews were called for a water rescue on the Ottawa River after a boater was forced to jump and swim to shore after his boat filled with rain from a heavy storm. Water safety advocates point to these incidents, saying it only takes seconds for tragedy to potentially strike.
We see approximately 450 Canadians dying by drowning every year, and then about 4 times that in non-fatal drowning incidents requiring hospital care. We see more drowning incidents in open water settings like lakes and rivers, so those are particularly at risk. There's less controls in those environments.
Ottawa police say so far in 2026, 4 people in the city have died from drowning. When it comes to open water, Ottawa Fire say their #1 spot every year requiring water rescues is the Deschenets Rapids along the Ottawa River. They also encourage people hosting family events or gatherings around pools or beaches to hire a lifeguard for an extra set of eyes. Stefan.
CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting. Thank you, Dylan. Ottawa police are investigating after a weekend of violent attacks in the Byward Market. Police say there was an assault in the area of Cumberland and George Streets around 6:15 last night. Emergency crews treated a 25-year-old man with a head injury. He was taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. And the night before, and just across the street, emergency responders were called to the area near the Salvation Army Booth Center. That's where a man was found seriously injured with cuts to his face. There's no word on any arrests in either incident. The annual rate of inflation dropped back below 3% in June as drivers paid less to fill their gas tanks. Inflation was 2.8% in June, down from 3.2% in May. Gas prices came down slightly last month amid tentative peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. However, tensions have reignited this month, pushing gas prices higher. The cost of groceries in June increased by nearly 4% compared to the previous month. With Toronto and Vancouver hosting World Cup games, hotel prices in Ontario and BC were up roughly 20%. A new high-rise is under construction on Richmond Road near Woodroffe, and residents have mixed reviews. West Orchard Urban Rentals will have 37 stories and 425 new rental units, including 15 designated affordable ones. It will include 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units and 4 townhomes. Some residents are raising concerns about obstructed views and noise from the construction, but the area's councillors say it will provide much-needed housing.
It will be a place for people to live right next to a transit station, and that's good news because we do need housing. There are affordable units that are going to be in it. We need intensification. Every time we build something that is within the urban areas, that means we're not adding to sprawl.
Councillor Teresa Kavanagh says construction is underway on the first of 2 buildings. This current construction phase is expected to take at least 3 years. Ottawa Bluesfest wrapped up last night with an all-Canadian lineup. That's the Guess Who closing the 9-day summer music festival that saw some of the biggest musical acts in the world grace the main stage. Country singer Ella Langley was among the headliners on Friday evening in front of a sellout crowd. Other performers this year included the Lumineers, Limp Bizkit, and Sheryl Crow.
Talking about almost 1,000 fire rangers. These are the folks who actually get out there and are on the front lines running hose through the bush, fighting those fires.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, an update from the Premier today as dozens of wildfires continue to rage in Northern Ontario. And Jackie Pears is here with our first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. We're getting a little bit of cloud cover, lots of sunshine earlier today. Things have cooled down slightly, but it's still quite warm out here on the Capitol Barbecue patio. Now, taking a look at our conditions, again, we are anticipating some precipitation moving in late this afternoon in the Pembroke area. Won't quite see it for Ottawa or along the Seaway. Now, right now, temperature is feeling like 23, 24 degrees, a little bit of humidity, but not much to feel the heat. In terms of overnight conditions, we're going down to about 16 degrees, a few clouds in the skies. Tomorrow, a different story. Yes, more precipitation on the way with heavy wind gusts, 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. We are anticipating 10 to 20 millimeters of rain moving in. And when will this get into the eastern Ontario region? Well, we'll get a closer look at this for you in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Enjoy free admission this Wednesday at the Canada Agriculture and Food Museum. There are hands-on activities, butter-making demonstrations, afternoon milking at the Dairy Barn, and more. Programming runs from 4 until 8 p.m. A live check on traffic right now. Westbound on the 417 is slow between Bronson and Woodroffe. There is a collision near Island Park. Eastbound is backed up from Maitland to Parkdale. And the 174 eastbound is moderate to heavy from the split to Montreal Road. Well, the smoke has mostly cleared across eastern and southern Ontario, but wildfires continue to burn across the province. The Premier provided an update this morning on how the province is dealing with the wildfire situation. CTV's John Musselman has the details.
13 communities have been forced to evacuate, displacing 1,800 people as these fires in northwestern Ontario continue to burn. Nearly 200 fires are burning. Of those, 57 are said to be out of control. Today, Premier Doug Ford held an update on the situation.
We have 155 fire crews and approximately 80 water bombers and helicopters remain in operation across the north, with roughly 40 additional support aircraft ready to assist.
Ford was joined at today's update in Toronto by Jill Dunlop, the Minister of Emergency Preparedness, and Mike Harris, the Minister of Natural Resources.
You know, we talk about sort of 155, 156 crews. Just to put that into context, that's well over 700 people. So there's usually about 4 to 5 people on a crew. So it seems like a bit of a small number, but we're talking about almost 1,000 fire rangers. These are the folks who actually get out there and are on the front lines running hose through the bush, fighting those fires.
A number of host cities, including Thunder Bay, Sudbury, Barrie, Toronto, and Niagara Falls, are offering temporary accommodations for people displaced by the wildfires. and relief organizations are on the scene offering assistance in Northern Ontario.
Global Medic, we delivered actually N95 masks to Thunder Bay when we were up last week. They're doing hygiene kits. Red Cross is setting up the evacuation center for us in Thunder Bay. That's for communities like Collins First Nation and Armstrong, who are unincorporated communities, so they have a place to go as well.
The smoke from the Ontario wildfires drifted south last week, turning the sky orange in the GTA and southern Ontario. At one point, our air quality was ranked as one of the worst in the world. Rain and shifting winds have improved the situation, but the wildfires continue to burn. The Premier says the province will spend whatever is needed to fight these fires. The Premier went on to say that this seems to be happening every single year, and he wants to sit down with Prime Minister Mark Carney and discuss a national firefighting strategy. John Musselman, CTV News.
Have a good game. You too.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, most people slow down in their 80s. She picked up a paddle instead. When we return, meet the pickleball powerhouse inspiring everyone around her. Here's what else you need to know. Catch Ottawa's professional basketball team in action this Wednesday at TD Place Stadium. The Blackjacks take on the Scarborough Shooting Stars, and there will be a live halftime performance by Tyler Shaw. Tip-off is 7:30 p.m. Here's another live check on traffic. Bronson moving well in both directions at this time. Bayswater also flowing well, but you can see that there's some volume building in that stretch. And then Parkdale, not the usual slowdowns. It's flowing, but then things start to back up in both lanes around Woodroffe. There is that collision to watch out for. We'll be right back. We have breaking news to share with you. U.S. President Donald Trump is imposing a new 50% tariff on some Canadian goods. It's in retaliation for what his administration is characterizing as discriminatory trade policies after signing a new executive order today. According to administration officials, the U.S. is taking issue with provincial bans on U.S. alcohol, supply management on dairy, and certain tariffs and quotas on cars imported to Canada from the U.S. Right now, we'll head back outside to Jackie with a closer look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. The sun has disappeared for a little bit, getting little peaks of it, though, through the clouds. You'll notice that the winds have slightly picked up as well, but we are anticipating no precipitation for our overnight. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, showcasing a Parliament Hill, Chateau Laurier as well. The current temperature is 24 degrees, so it is fairly calm for the rest of the evening. We are anticipating more partly cloudy skies to move through. Tomorrow, though, a different story. Starting things off with mainly sunny, 19 degrees, but then more cloud cover will be here in downtown Ottawa. By the noon, it will feel like 30, but we are anticipating some heavy rainfall moving in. Now, between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., that's when we could anticipate perhaps a thunderstorm risk. We are anticipating 10 to 20 millimeters of rain moving in. Here's a closer look at this radar. So you can see that we are picking up really heavy weather cells moving through, particularly near Kingston as well as Renfrew. By 4 p.m., this will likely move into the Smiths Falls, Ottawa area. Again, we could likely see a severe thunderstorm warning activate here in Eastern Ontario and could be in place until 8 p.m. for tomorrow evening. By the overnight hours, we could anticipate a little bit more rainfall moving through, but Wednesday we should anticipate clearer skies. Now, for the valley, few clouds overnight, showers and a risk of thunderstorm, 21 degrees, the anticipated daytime high for tomorrow, as well as the Seaway, few clouds, 18 degrees, and it does say cloudy, but there is still a chance for the Kingston, Brockville, Cornwall area that we could see some rain moving in as well. Now, as for the next 5 days, again, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain moving through for Tuesday, 25 the daytime high. We're going to have a much cooler overnight low into Wednesday at about 11 degrees. We do have a chance of showers for the early part of Wednesday morning, but this should clear by Wednesday afternoon, early evening. By Thursday and Friday, we are anticipating the return of lots of sunshine here in the capital. We want to bring you an incredible summer night out with Sips and Sparkles Ottawa. Now, one lucky winner and 3 friends will each receive a $500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers. Then head out for an amazing dinner at Riviera Ottawa. All you have to do is enter at CTV News Ottawa or at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win this incredible experience. Wishing you the best of luck.
In today's edition of Simply Ottawa, we introduce you to a pickleball player who proves age is no barrier to staying active. at 90 years old. Val Cooties is on the court nearly every day, and she's become an inspiration to everyone around her. CTV's Josh Morano has her story.
On these courts, there's one player who never fails to stand out.
Have a good game.
You too. And which sports can you do when you are 90 years old? So, yeah, I just love it.
At 90 years old, Val Cooties is here almost every day, playing pickleball for hours at a time.
The company with the people and like getting my exercise. That's important to me.
A heart bypass surgery 25 years ago taught Val the importance of staying active. When she discovered pickleball 7 years ago, she says she found the perfect way to do just that.
Don't feel sorry for yourself. Get up, enjoy life. That's the way I look at it, you know. I don't want to sit at home. Do something, anything.
That attitude has made her a favorite here at Valley Stream Pickleball Club.
She loves playing. She loves the competitive aspect of it. But to see her running out and moving back and forth on a court every day, it's inspiring.
Just last week, the club celebrating her 90th birthday, an example of how much she means to the people here.
She's always happy. She's always upbeat. So that's good for all of us to have that kind of mentality coming into play and in life in general.
And don't let the smile fool you. Friends say she's one of the most competitive players on the court.
She's a super player. She has a signature shot. It's called the lob. And everybody knows that Val gets a point with her lobs every day.
And she doesn't plan on hanging up her paddle anytime soon.
90 is pretty good. It's pretty high. And I'm proud of it. It might stop sooner or later. You never know. But so long I can move, I move.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
And we want to hear your stories of people doing good, spreading joy, making a difference, or marking a notable achievement. We'll be showcasing stories that touch our hearts and make us proud of our city. Simply Ottawa. You can send your story ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. Coming up, talk about a memorable first concert, the standout moment for a Gwen Stefani fan at this weekend's Ottawa Bluesfest. Here's what you need to know. Enjoy salsa at City Hall this Wednesday evening. There are 2 workshops followed by social dancing. All levels of dancers are welcome, and it's free to attend. The event starts at 6:30 p.m. and goes until 10. Here's another live check on traffic. Bayswater flowing well in both directions. Again, there was a collision near Woodroffe. That's slowing things down. You can see it right there. And things are moving well at Pinecrest. We'll be right back.
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen to Pure Country 94 on the free iHeartRadio app.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. The temperature right now, 24 degrees. And it's time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
There's no amount of money that you can invest in an ad campaign to try and push people to stay longer.
Reaction after the City of Ottawa plans a new ad campaign encouraging public servants to extend their time downtown after work this fall. We'll have the details.
Maybe President Trump would offer his closest allies and friends some support rather than sit there and threaten tariffs.
Developing a situation over the tariffs right now. Ontario Premier Doug Ford here firing back at Donald Trump over his threat to impose tariffs on Canada over wildfire smoke drifting south. Meantime, the president has announced new tariffs, not for that reason. We'll have the full details coming up.
Crossed my fingers knowing that there was a million things going on for Public Works right now, but this was Parks and they pulled it off. They got it done.
And a popular West End pool reopens after closing earlier this month when the parking lot was severely flooded during that July 1st storm. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. Some parents may notice more in their bank account with an increase to the federal child benefit. The payments are going up about 2% for eligible parents. That means those who have children under 6 will receive up to $8,157 per child and up to $6,883 per child for children between 6 and 17 years old. It works out to increases of between $135 to $160 annually. The benefit has been adjusted to inflation, and roughly 3.6 million Canadians will see the increase. Travelers looking to escape the cold this winter will be able to fly direct from Ottawa to Costa Rica on WestJet. The airline has announced it will launch weekly service between the Ottawa International Airport and Liberia, Costa Rica on December 20th. The flight will run once a week. Porter Airlines will also operate non-stop service between Ottawa and Costa Rica this winter starting on November 1st. A new restaurant chain is set to open its first open location in the capital. Scatterbush Italian Kitchen and Bar has announced it will open a restaurant in the Canada Centrum Plaza in September. The chain serves traditional Italian fare, including fresh-made pasta and pizzas. Scatterbush has more than a dozen locations across the GTA.
Here's Bryson Barnes looking for the first touchdown of the game.
It was a close game for the Ottawa Redblacks at TD Place last night, but they're still looking for their first win of the season. They were up 17 points in the fourth quarter, but Winnipeg stormed back, sending the game into overtime. In the end, the Redblacks lost 36-34. They've now lost their first 6 games of the season. They're back at TD Place on July 31st, hosting the Montreal Alouettes. That's Gwen Stefani on the main stage Saturday evening at Bluesfest, and it was quite a memorable time for a young fan attending her first concert. Fan Grace got to go up on stage for a quick chat with the pop star and a selfie. Her brother had a sign ready to grab Gwen's attention, and it worked. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National starts now.